Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Empires of Steel episode 5 for our series, and let's jump right into it. This is going to be a very important episode, and the reason for that is because I am going to start massing my forces together to prepare for an invasion against probably the Nazis. I think the Nazis is going to be our best bet for war. So we've got some destroyers in here ported up. Let's get them, we'll actually group them up. And let's send them off. If we're going to go to war with the Nazis, then we're probably going to want them somewheres over here to the side. So let's get them at least moving there. Keep submitting orders. I've got some bombers being built up here in New York. There's 2 of them there. Those should be the bombers, right? Yep, 2 tactical bombers with one more in 1.6 turns and another in 2.7 turns. We're going to go back in here and bump up research again, since we don't seem to be having any issues at all. We're actually going for the tactical bomber and the strategic bomber. Definitely want to get that strategic bomber out there soon. Almost tempted to go for a carrier, specialized in being floating platforms for fighters and tactical bombers. Strategic bombers are too large to land on aircraft carriers. Class 1 carriers can hold 6 aircraft. Carriers can also repair damaged aircraft. Yeah, we'll definitely go for the basic research and ship design and just queue all of those up. And then we'll also go for the tank class 3, infantry class 4, artillery class 4. And that'll keep us rolling for a while. We've got 2 fighters here, 4 bombers on the way. We're going to fly them down to Sydney ASAP. Let's grab up this artillery piece that's now upgraded, and we'll send it down to join up with one of these groups here. We're going to disband this group and add him to there. And we'll send that artillery down here to the fort group to join with them. And in this group, we've got a missile launcher, tank, and 2 infantry. Thinking about capturing these cities over here, but I haven't fully decided yet if that is what I want to do. Nazis are moving into our territory a little bit, but that is fine. I've got some submarines being built up. I got to keep an eye on my food as well. And then we've got, what's this there? Another destroyer. I think I got rid of the transport. Did I not? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got rid of the transport. Let's grab this up and create a group there. And we're going to send these guys down here to this iron. Or, I'm sorry, steel. I keep calling the... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is iron. See, I always get confused because the game's called Empires of Steel. But this is iron, so it's like... It's just weird. Okay. Yeah, we're going to send them down there so they can kind of post up on it. So if the Nazis try to take us up that way, we're prepared for them. 1 more tactical bomber on the way. I've also got 2 paratroopers queued up. Why don't we get 2 more paratroopers? We can drop them in right in Nazi territory as soon as all of this happens. I'm pretty sure I can just drop them in. I don't see anything that says I have to have anything to fly them there. Alright, about to finish the uranium refinery in this city. After that, we're going to go for... Let's go for... This is the city that's got 2 fighters. Kind of want to get some tactical bombers. Well, I've got tactical bombers coming. Let's get some actual bombers. 2 actual bombers queued up. I think that'll be pretty good. Alright, I might want to set up an airbase somewheres around here. Let me wait and see. Yeah, because the range is not long enough, actually. I won't have a choice. I'm going to have to put an airbase somewheres. I think this intersection right here is not a bad idea. Let's start heading down there. We can get an airbase set up. Alright, we've got our bombers. Let's get them all queued up in one big group and fly them down to Sydney in one big flight. There we go. Bombers are in Sydney. We're now going to grab up our group that's here as soon as I queue something up in New York. Let's go for... What kind of bombers were those, by any chance? Let's go in New York real quick. They're just regular tactical bombers. They actually need to be upgraded. Let's upgrade all possible units right off the bat and get that done with. Going -15 there in the cash, but that's okay. It's because of the upgrades. Whilst we're upgrading, let's go for... I guess we'll get another group put out here. 2 infantry, 4 infantry, 2 tanks, 2 tanks. What else do we want? 2 artillery. Not going to worry about the flat gun just yet. Oop, I want to grab these guys real quick and build an airbase. So let's set them up to build an airbase there. We've got... Oop, did I get that queued up? We'll find out in a second. Let's see. Pagoda, make me some wealth, would you? And they should be plopping an airbase down. Right. Can it not be on the road? It can. It just can't be right where they're sitting? It's kind of weird. I'll put it right here at the border then, I guess. Alright, all of our fighters are set up and ready to go. Where are my submarines? I've got 1 more coming out. After that, it'll be 1 more after that. Okay. I've got a destroyer. I'm going to leave that destroyer here as kind of like a defensive for that side there. And let's grab up these tanks and this missile launcher and also send them down to that iron resource as well. Alright, everything seems to be according to plan. The Nazis are rolling with Class 2 tanks just like us. Hopefully we'll get up our Class 3 soon enough. Our ships are almost into position. Airbase is not having any luck. I don't think I'm doing this correctly. Maybe it's a right click. Am I? There we go. Alright, now they're going to build an airbase for us. We're going to put it right there next to the border. Looks like that's going to take some considerable time. It's getting up there. Okay, they're going to join up with those forces. I've got these guys stationed here. Sydney's definitely looking good. I've now got an actual bomber out there. Lots of upgrades completed. Let's do another upgrade for that submarine that just popped out of Kano here, or Kano. And that'll give me a squadron of submarines. I'm going to send down probably this way and do a little bit more exploring. Hopefully they'll stay under the cover for the most part. This Nazi tank's coming back this way. Sydney needs something built. Let's throw a carrier down. And then a battleship. Let's actually make that 2 battleships. Alright, food is kind of going down a little bit, but cash is still heavily on the rise. Honestly, resources, we're doing great. Steel's a little bit down, but I've got so much cash now that not even anything matters anymore. Go back into here. We're going to bump this up to 30. Just keep spending that money on all the research. Airbase is almost constructed. As soon as the airbase is about to be constructed, there it is. Okay, let's take a look real quick at everything. Go through and kind of just get rid of these messages. Can I? I guess I'll just go through and kind of click them all to get rid of the notifications. Alright, so let's take a look real quick at the situation that the Nazis are in. So if we look here, they're still at war with each other, the Nazis and the Canadians. And unfortunately, the Nazis are going to have to pay. I have no other choice. I'm definitely more technologically advanced than them by roughly 200 points. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the Nazis up. Now, we could just declare war, and that would let the Nazis prepare themselves for battle. But we could also sneak attack them. And what the sneak attack is going to allow us to do is it's basically going to give us the option to go into their territory, attack them, and catch them off guard. Now, we're going to probably take a negative modifier for that because it's technically a very dirty thing to do. But even though we're going to get a negative modifier, I'm not all that worried about it. Now, let's take our bombers and get them into position. We're going to fly them down there. We'll take our fighters. Actually, we'll put our fighters with our bombers. It's going to give us some support. And I'm going to leave these big, massive bombers here because we got, what, our tactical bombers? We'll leave the actual bombers inside Sydney. Just fly our tactical bombers with our units down. Alright, so let's see. How do I want to maneuver into position? I'm going to wait for these tanks to get up there, and I'm going to go straight for right over at Dali here. That's where I'm going to push. Let's get the ships lined up. The submarine fleet is complete. We're going to put that together. And we're going to send them down this way. Start doing some scouting over there. There we go. Submarines are heading out. Nazis are acting like they might be a little suspicious. I doubt it. Disband this group real quick. We're going to throw them together with this. That's going to give us a pretty strong, more armored division, but a little bit of infantry on the side. And we're going to head on down here into their territory and see what we're up against. I might want to get some flat guns up. It looks like they've got paratroopers, so that's something to keep in mind. the Canadians are moving up into my territory. We're going to keep a nice close eye on them. They've got some dreadnoughts. They've got 2 dreadnoughts there with a little bit of experience, so we'll keep our eye on them and see where they're going. The Nazis sent a message to me telling me that I was border crossing in their territory. Little do they know it's 100% intentional, because we're about to bombard their target there and go to war. We're also going to attack these paratroopers as well, so I don't want anything to do with them. So let's end our turn, and to war with the Nazis we go. Alright, so some infantry came up there, attacked our little armor division here, did some damage, but it looks like the Dali here is pretty much about to be ours. They also entrenched over here and fired upon us at our air station. Not too big of a deal, because we are well defended. Some of our bombers got damaged in that attack, as well as our fighter. It looks like we actually lost a bomber, but no matter. We're going to take this unit here, move it down on there, capture that food, and start moving our destroyers into their territory. And keep our submarines kind of moving as well. Alright, we're going to let the enemy here take the turn and try to do something about it. New York needs some stuff produced, so we've got our entire little division here ready to go. Let's get them all put together. I'm going to basically call this like a, I guess like a support division or something, or however you want to call it. It's a lot of infantry actually, which is good. Very large force there. It's basically going to be the force that I'm going to use to break Nazi Germany's back here. I'm thinking about paratrooping. Let's see if I can do that. Do I want to, how do I want to, can I do that? It's going to make them walk. How do I actually paratroop these guys? I must have to put them in an actual bomber. Yeah, I don't really know how these guys work. He's going to try to walk there. Let's grab our bombers and send them over here. I'm assuming I probably got to put my guys inside the bomber, so let's just set that all up and get ready to do that. All right, this division here is getting just absolutely pounded. It's hurting pretty badly, so I'm actually probably going to fall back here to the airfield. What's that airfield called? The Armstrong Airfield. I like it. So we're going to push down to the Armstrong Airfield. We captured an 8 food down there. That's really good. Definitely going to help us. We got a carrier popping out there. Cano is producing money with a production of 17. Let's actually end that. Let's get 4, 5, 6 tanks out, just a full-on armor division. And we'll roll 2 infantry with that armor division just to give us a little bit extra cover. We've got another destroyer here. We're going to actually keep him there. It looks like somebody's coming in this way. I'm not sure who that is. Is that the Canadians? They were up here originally, but I lost track of whether or not they're still up there. Alright, so only 1 infantry unit survived. He's about to head to the airfield there. New York is looking pretty good. Let's see. Can I... How do I get these guys inside? Well, they can actually be upgraded, so why don't I do that first? Okay, cancel whatever you have queued up to do. I assume the bombers are the ones that fly these guys, but I could be wrong. I'm not really sure how it goes. We'll Q1 to walk down that way and see if he does anything special. If not, then I won't worry too much about it. Let's get our bombers back to Sydney. Grab our destroyers up here. Keep pushing down into Nazi territory. I want to really see what we're dealing with here. And then New York needs some orders, some build orders. So, we are losing some of our fighters and bombers. So let's get 2 more fighters and 4 more bombers set up and ready to go. And for this group here, we'll roll down and capture that fort. I'm really banking that the Canadians are not going to get hairy on me. Ooh, there we go. So a bomber group came in there and did considerable damage to the airfield. Actually, pretty much took out our entire infrastructure on the airfield there. That is a damn shame. I'm going to have to get some flak set up. Let's see. We're building a carrier there, but after the carrier, what do we got? Carrier and 2 battleships. I'll stick with the carrier and 2 battleships for now. They're producing an armor division for me. I would like to get some flak pushed out. That would be nice. Let's grab a pagoda here and push out 4 flat guns, and I can position them in some various places. Now I'm on my border. Okay, we're getting bombarded, it looks like, by missiles. Either that or we're doing the bombarding. The airfield's definitely going to fall. Let's head over here and bomb the Dali over here. And our division's coming in right here. So they've captured this iron mine from us. But that's fine because we have a massive force coming in right now. As well as that paratrooper who's just kind of foot slogging it. So whatever. I don't really know how these guys work, and I'm not really that worried about it. Let's just grab them up and send him actually down here to this fort. Now, as for Manila, I definitely need to get some more things pushed out. So let's go with 4 infantry, 2 tanks, 2 missile launchers. Oh, we're ready for more upgrades. Let's go for infantry class 5. Ooh, look at these bombers here. Let's definitely go for all of these. I like, especially like the spy plane. I definitely would like to get down there and see what these guys got. Let's get the SAM missiles. Let's go for the tank class 4. Robotic factory. Interesting. So looks like we can get some stuff from that. Production bonus. City's production value by 3 plus 10% of the population. Definitely something to keep my eye on because that looks like it'll be very good. Okay, so the airfield is still holding out, just barely holding out. We're going to grab this infantry unit here and add him to this. These guys are going to need to be relieved at some point. Oh, he's actually not on the airfield. We need to get him to join up with that group there. That would be a very good idea. Let's move these guys a little bit closer and put some pressure on the enemy because they're acting like they're invincible right now by just bombing my airfield over and over. So we're going to actually move in, start capturing some of their resources, and there they go. So they've got a missile launcher over here, class 2. That's the missile launcher that was bombing the airfield. So I'm going to queue that up to attack that, and then right after that, grab that food. And that should deal with our missile launcher problem. Let's see. We got the submarines over here. I got to keep moving. Let's see if we can go into that bay there. Now, as for Kano, I've got more coming. I'm going to leave the destroyer there. Sydney's got me my carrier, my bombers. Let's fly them to the airfield. And then for Pagoda, we're getting the flat guns built up. All right, another turn. I would like to get these guys off of the airfield at some point. Maybe get them... maybe potentially get them back healing up. This unit has definitely taken a beating already. Let's go for some bombing runs here. We're also going to take these guys and bomb Dali as well. There we go. Some nice bombing going on. I see Detroit peeking out from there. Canada's doing some damage over here. What city is this? I think I forgot to queue this up last time. We're looking at Pagoda right now. Pagoda's got my flat guns finished. Let's go for 2 artillery, 4 troops, 4 tanks. So we're starting to really get some stuff pumping out here. Let's grab up our flat guns. We're going to break them down into groups of 2. Send 1 to the airfield to enter the airfield, and the other group we're going to send over here to join, I guess, with these infantry units that are just chilling on here. And I'm going to do something with these infantry units in a bit. This is actually my whole force right there. Okay, I want this force to take that city. Where are you going? Yeah, that's right. Okay, you know what? Go back here and join with that group. Alright, there we go. So everybody's moving around. We're basically just sitting here entrenched on this. I actually need to get some reinforcements down there ASAP. Could do some bombing if I could locate where these enemies are actually moving about. Okay, grab the paratrooper. We'll move him into this group here, and let's move them down here into Dali. We're going to destroy the garrison and capture the target, and we're going to do some more bombing runs on them just to help weaken them up a little bit more. It's going to make it kind of a weak city when I do inevitably capture it, but nonetheless, it is important. There must be some serious battling going on because the maps are taking a little bit longer to load. Alright, so our force is moving on in. Alright, we've got Nazi tanks, or at least just one Nazi tank. The 14th Panzer Division, or well, the 14th Panzer, since it's just one tank. Moving in our paratroopers. Our paratroopers are going to have a very hard time destroying that tank, and they don't have any artillery with them. However, it looks like I lost my destroyers earlier. I wasn't even paying attention to that. But that is okay. Let's send this destroyer over here to group up with that carrier that I've got getting built over there. This army is getting all set up and ready to go. And then I've got my submarines, which I'm about to shift over to here. It looks like there might be a way around, or do they know something I don't know? Does this go all the way through? It looks like there might be some type of river through here, and I guess the submarines are going to try to take it. Okay, we've captured Dali, which is good. Dali is extremely damaged. I bombed it all to hell, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a radar set up and an Air Force base set up. Actually, skip that. We're going to skip the Air Force base, the radar, we're going to go barracks, then we're going to go Air Force base. So the radar is going to give us the ability to see farther out. We'll have eyes on Detroit. The barracks will allow us to heal our infantry units. And then the Air Force base will give me the opportunity to place more air here, potentially evacuate the airfield, as it's looking like the airfield might actually be, is actually extremely under attack right now. I'm actually going to fly these guys out to Sydney for now, just to keep them safe. We'll submit one last turn here. Airfield is heavily under attack by that Panzer Division. These guys are getting bombed all the hell, but they are definitely raising up in level. We're going to retreat them back to the fort. I've got my massive army here, which is also taking a beating, but we are out of time for this episode. We're just going to keep building up forces and moving them forward. I've got my flat guns starting to move in here. Paratroopers are about to mount up in this fort. Hopefully they can hold off from this tank, and then hopefully we can hold this airfield a little bit longer, because it's really the only thing between the Nazi forces just coming right up the middle here and capturing Sydney, and I cannot afford to lose Sydney. So we are out of time for this episode. I do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.